All right, so let's do a quick market review. I was going to do one over the weekend, but things got in the way. I was a bit sick as well, and yesterday I was just so tired. I thought, okay, I'll do one today instead. We've had a sea of red once again. Let me do the weekly actually. And it's clear now that prices are aiming to come down to the equivalent of where this guy started all of this move upwards, right? So more or less this line. Now on Germany, we see prices are already there. However, prices came down as low as here, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if prices came down even a bit more and hovered around this area, maybe even pushing down a bit before it goes up. But I do think Germany is the leading market, most ready to turn. And what I am anticipating is when other markets aim to, or when other markets catch up and reach the equivalent of this line, Germany will hover, almost like waiting, or range, almost like waiting for other markets to catch up. And Germany will be the first one to push upwards. How far upwards it will go, not sure. Okay, so I would say up here will be the target. It will depend on how much strength they have. So if these same guys push up with more or less the same strength as they did previously, then yes, up here is the target. Immediate target though will be around here. We still haven't seen that V on this time frame. So although we see signs that sellers are here, which is the equivalent of this, we don't yet have confirmation that buyers are done and they're weaker than the sellers. So all of that is to say we're approaching buyers territory. Let me clear this up a bit. We're approaching buyers territory, and I expect them to react from here. How far up they go, it depends on several things. The strength of their reaction for one. So once they start to go up, we can then depict, okay, how strong are they going to go up. Before, if they're going to go all the way up to here, before they reach there, I do expect there to be another round of sellers that come down. And I say that because this push down versus this push down is weaker. So this secondary push is stronger than this first push. So what I'm anticipating is we'll have a pullback when the buyers react, and I'm quite confident they will react. When they do react, I don't anticipate them going up to here. Although it is possible, I think they'll most likely end here with these set of sellers pushing it down one more time. At least one more time. So that's Germany, and oof, this is so messy. So rangy. Push, 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 push. Strong buyers, perhaps even stronger buyers. Okay, in this market, when the buyers do come in, and I anticipate the prices will come down to more or less where this line is, maybe even going as low as here to that psychological number. But when the sellers come down, buyers push up, their target is quite clear, right about here. Maybe there is this that we're seeing. Let me draw this a bit finely. There is this. So maybe when they push up once more, they don't necessarily make it all the way up to here. Maybe they end at this body here. but they will push up. So this one is clear. Wall Street, we had them reach, I think this was on charted territory. Actually, let me have a look. Let me check. Let me just go. Okay, it wasn't quite. Okay, it wasn't at all. Okay, so they've come down. This is more similar to Germany, although not as clear. It's a bit more messy. But in either case, we have them coming down to this line, most likely, potentially all the way down, well, down here or even here, where this line is, the 31,000 level. But first things first is this line. So same thing as Germany, when they push up, I think they'll most likely end here. I doubt they'll go past this guy who pushed all this down. And let's assume they end here, that is. So this guy, this secondary guy, being stronger than this first guy, I anticipate when the buyers push up, we'll have the sellers push down at least one more time. And if they are weaker than these secondary guys here, then it's a sign that, okay, when the buyers come in again, they now have a chance of going up all the way up there. But from this point on, from when they come in, let me clear all of this up a bit. From when the buyers come in, I don't think they'll have the strength to do that. I doubt it. It's too big of a, it's too long of a travel for them to make that move. Plus, they'll be going against these sellers that are still quite strong, judging by their legs. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. That's the weekly view. Out of the three of them, Germany is my favorite one because we're very close to this guy. And news-wise, I don't think there's anything happening today. So I think the earliest Germany will move will most likely be tomorrow, when there's a news announcement that can fuel the buyers reacting. So let's go down to the lower time frame. And I think now we can go all the way back, because we're so close to where the buyers are. I think we can go all the way down to maybe even the 15 minute. Well, let's stick with the hourly for now. And we can see this push last week. We had a bit of a push up this morning, last night / this morning, and then big push down. So now this guy is the one to look out for when buyers. Actually, let me backtrack a bit. So this guy, stronger than this guy. So when buyers come in again, I don't think immediately they're going to reach up here. It's possible, but I doubt it. I think they'll cap out round about. I think they'll tap out round about here, maybe even here. And the sellers will push down one more time. Now, when they push down, if they are not as strong as this guy, it will be a good sign that yes, they're fading, they're dying out. What I would want to see then is strength from the buyers. Let me move this forward just a bit. So we've had this. Let's say this is a pullback happens, and then we have another push down. And tomorrow at some point, the buyers come in with strength, right? And they take out this guy. We would then say, okay, these same sellers up here, they weren't able to make a lower low. This is assuming prices are indeed ending here where they are. The sellers weren't able to make a lower low. Number one. Number two, we have buyers that have come in. strong, and I would still like to give the sellers one more chance to push down and not make this level again. So maybe using here as an SNR before this pushes upwards. I think this wants to push up in a hurry because these sellers, they've kind of just trickled down. I was going to do this like this, but that's more in the hourly. On this time frame, it's all of this, which means when prices pushes up, goes past here, ultimately they want to reach this level, right? So on a lower time frame, we'll see the details of it with the sellers pushing down, unable to make a lower low, buyers coming up, sellers pushing down one more time, and then the buyers blasting up. They want to reach this level in a hurry. On this time frame, they're the guys with the last strength. So this will be quite an interesting trade to take. We just need to fade the sellers and gauge the strength of the buyers. So let me do the lower time frame. Okay, so nothing happens until this move has officially ended, and I wouldn't say it's officially ended just yet. I want to see one of two things: either a deeper pullback and or prices hovering around for some time. So horizontally, I want to see some data before I can say, okay, this move has indeed ended here. We've had the pullback, and now the sellers are coming down again. After the sellers make their move down, there's at least one more move down. Let's say this, and then they make their move down. If they do not go past this level, it'll be a very interesting time for the buyers, especially with the news announcements. Excuse me. Especially with the news announcements later or from tomorrow. I think there are 3 this week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I believe. It could be the fuel that's needed to push this upwards and push it up with steam. Once we go past this area, we'll be headed up to where the guy who started it is, which is a long way upwards. So I want to see strength of the buyers at least coming up to this level. I don't think they'll be able to make it with this first push, but this secondary push, yes, doable. So I want to see something more like this. And depending on how slow this comes down, could be an opportunity to grab the buys from here and take it all the way up to here. When prices reach here, I'd want to see one more push down from the sellers, because these buyers going up here, we're seeing let me clear this up a bit. We're seeing right now, so let's say this is the low, right? We're seeing now they don't have the strength to go all the way up to here, right? So on a bigger, higher time frame, this move coming up will be the first leg up, pull back, and then the second leg up. So these buyers, they're not going up to challenge these guys, they're going up to challenge all the way up here. So until prices reach this level and take out this guy, I'd say we're still in sellers territory, but there could be an opportunity, depending on how these sellers here push it down, could be an opportunity to jump in on this leg upwards, assuming it's a strong leg. stronger than this leg. So all of that is to say, yes, technically we're in seller's territory, but they're also selling to buyers, and we know buyers are around about here, right? This range, somewhere down there. So at any moment, as prices, the lower prices come down, to somewhere around here, the quicker and the more likely that the buyers are going to want to jump in on it once again and push upwards with strength. So yes, it's this guy, this last seller, versus the buyers who are here. The lower prices come with some within reason. So if we have prices coming down, something like this would be great because then you can fade the sellers and jump in on the buy, knowing that you're with the buyers who are here. So when they come in, it's going to be the buyers versus the sellers. It'll be more like this at that point, versus the sellers. And if we have this sort of V on a higher time frame, even better. The higher, the better. This is very exciting, actually, because there is a lot of ground for the buyers to cover when they come in, and they'll cover to at least here, if not here. On this time frame, yes, up to here, but we could see them quite easily come up to where this line is, because on this daily time frame, this is ultimately the guy that matters. On the 4 hourly, yes, this guy matters, but on this time frame, you see, on the 4 hourly, you have push down and push down, 2 legs, right? On this time frame, because this pullback is so one, is not deep enough, and 2, it happens so quickly. As in, if you look at it in terms of horizontally, there isn't much data. So you have 2 extremes that you can consider. This extreme from here to here, and then from here to here, as one option. Or you can say, actually, it's from here to here. Let me draw that better. From here to here. All of that is one option. And when I have 2 options like this, I always like to go with the more extreme option, which is this one. And all of that is to say, when buyers come up, yes, this is an area of concern, but ultimately they want to reach here at least. At least. Yeah, well, all of this will take some time. I think all of this will lead into next year. First things first is to fade the sellers and gauge the strength of the buyers. And once again, buyers are here. Anywhere there, they could react. And the more prices come down, the more sellers will be aiming to, well, those who have smart money, who have sold, they'll be taking their profits early. because they'll be aware of these guys. Look how much of an extreme this is. They did all of that. Yes, they slowed down here, right? But in terms of extremes, all of that happened. And now prices are back to where they made that move. So I'm expecting at least an attempt upwards to this line. And out of the three of them, the three markets, I quite fancy Germany as my favorite. It might change because FTSE looks good. The thing I don't like with FTSE is you have all of this to go against. What I do like about it is the range that we're in, and we're close to where the buyers are. So yes, we've had all of this up and down, but we're close to where buyers are. So this, I would say, is my second favorite. Yeah, Wall Street will be my third. Wall Street looks quite good, but we still have some ways to go. And Wall Street is known for being more erratic. More erratic than Germany. So out of the two of them, Germany and Wall Street, Germany is my favorite so far. FTSE is a second, and then Wall Street a third. But yes, I'm seeing very interesting times ahead in terms of opportunities presented by this data set that I'm seeing. And out of the three of them, once again, to wrap up, Germany is my favorite. It's just a matter of time now. Just a matter of time before the buyers step in. All right, I'll leave this there for now. If there is something interesting that happens tomorrow or at some point during the week, I'll have another video. Otherwise, definitely this weekend I'll have a review analysis of the week. All right, I'll leave it there for now. Bye for now.